Hello everybody, welcome to a video talking about adaptive difficulty. I finally had some time to actually play through this, and spoiler alert, I don't know if I've seen something that is improved as Kabam have kind of like put it in. So I've played most of it and I can confirm like what I personally think about it. You might be thinking like, well, Rich, this has been like Kabam have made this change since what, the 11th of September, and when I think I put this video out will be like the 30th of September. So am I a bit latest? Yeah. I am just trying to like have a little bit of a chilled and relaxed September, a little bit of October, and a little break in November before kind of getting really kind of back to like mass amount of content creation. But look, I've said my piece about it before, I'll say my piece about it again, but also add in a bit more context on how things from Kabam's perspective, they think that they've improved, but it's not exactly hitting the right notes and needs a further bit more changes. And also there's an issue that will affect free to play, which I have to expand on in another video, because again, there's more context to stuff. There's things that people don't see, and there's things that I've seen that I think have impacted me as a non-spending player, and of course will impact other players as well. Also, I have realized that the cable that I replaced, because I did buy a new cable and a new adapter in order to connect into my my iPad, it is not that's an issue. It's the iPad. You can see like it's kind of lagging, right? That is the iPad. So it's on its last leg. So what was a very not so costly thing has now become a more costly thing, but that's another story for another day. One of my main issues is time in MCOC. This year, if players want to be casual in the game, and also I want to find more time to play different modes and things like that, like play a bit of arena, battlegrounds, right? My time has been affected by having to do this exponential amount of grinding in what is event quest. Like we're talking 16 fights. And for me, 16 fights is still too many. 13 fights, I could probably meet Kabam in the middle. 13 fights per quest total, I think is absolutely fine. Because even though this roster right here seems kind of like impressive enough, and of course covers a good amount of coverage, it is not all 7 stars. And of course, per class, there does come a point in time when my stronger champions, we're losing out. Like we're kind of looking to 6 stars at rank 5 in order to take us through stuff. And for, a good chunk of this year, I've been trying to rank up more 7 stars and specific 7 stars for types of content and building out what I want it in game. But unfortunately, it feels like I feel forced to create a roster around coverage in a wider net that is less strategic on things like Battlegrounds and maybe Alliance Wars Defense, and maybe some other things that Kabam may be cooking up, but instead has to be thinking about the adaptive difficulty, which is really not good. And even though it looks like I'm still like sitting on resource, the reason that I've said like this is kind of fresh, like this is in the last 24 to 48 hours, I've had these kind of like thoughts about, okay, well, I'm gonna have to be very strategic. Like, what does this champion do? This is a, say, cosmic champion that would do Battlegrounds Defense. It would be a good option for the nodes that Kabam are going to have in things like adaptive difficulty, but also have other usage as well, like an attacker or defender. Like there's so many boxes that have to be ticked because of adaptive difficulty that just, I think it's giving a little bit more stress and mental load than I would kind of like to admit to. I think the other thing as well is the impact of Statcasts and the prestige bump elements to difficulty level that it provides you, and being able to do it. Like, again, that may have kind of gone over people's heads, but what I'm saying in that is like, yeah, great, elevate prestige. Yeah, great. I don't have the roster to necessarily do it cleanly. Yeah, great. This could impact stuff like my revives or health potions, which then I need to use in other areas of the game, like story mode. I still have done 9.3 because it was 9.2. I can't remember where we're up to, but I need to do stuff, and not having the time because, personal, got stuff on. There's that focus of, oh, well, I need to be active. I cannot be not active with the game, or I cannot not be playing this game for X amount more hours as a result. So it's the impact of that. I still don't think we're really there with the difficulty adjustments. I think they've got to be reduced a lot more. Yeah, the thing that's great about the difficulty is that I have been bumped up for what was like a level, was I level 3 up to a level 8? There's still 11 more levels to go up in the chase of everything, and I will have to work hard to raise my prestige by 507, which is not is possible, and yes, it is possible to do that. Yes, I've got to be proactive, but as I've explained, like, it's the rotation and churn of, yay, I get to rank up some champions. Oh, yay, they've increased my difficulty. Oh, yay, the impact on the roster depth and strength to take on the content. And I'm sure I can actually do it, but it's not just about me, is it? Like, there are like hundreds of thousands of other people that play this game, and what you feel is important as well to your playing experience and enjoyment, which of course Kabam needs to take as seriously as possible. This is why, since the concept of all this, I've never been too sure about how Kabam's scanning works. And the fact that they had to change this, of course, is a big telltale sign that they got it wrong. To again explain that point is that when Kabam were looking at your prestige and going, oh, you know, I have X amount, what you can't, oh, there's the prestige, is down there, like 25,675 top 30 prestige, like how that was actually scanned, and basically Kabam made an assessment to go, it's fair for Richard to have these particular matchups and against the champions he has, and this was fair. I don't think that's good enough to as a scan method, because we've seen other players just go, the work and effort has not been worth the rewards that you got back as a result. And then there's that point of Kabam trying to that need to align with the community on these matters. Because that being said, like, I was struggling in certain things. You can see there's a Black Widow clairvoyant right there. I was struggling with a breadth of roster, which is weird to say, because I thought I think I have a roster that's able to cover a lot of things. But you know, with Black Widow clairvoyant, it's great. Just get out of jail free card. I can top up back my health at certain points, but I'm still using a rank 4 6-star because the breadth of the roster is not there. I need 7 stars rank 2. Rank 1s do okay, but they're not rank 2 7-stars. Also, specific types of matchups and champion defenders is something that Kabam need to spend a bit of time to go, is this a right option here? So say for this quest, if I didn't have, say, a poison immune option or an easy access heal blocker, which I do have, by the way, but the point is, if you don't have the right counters or a champion that's the right class with the right immunity, you are scuppered a little bit with your choice, and you have to be so careful. Mental load on trying to prepare for this is just so extensive. I'm sorry that I didn't do like a Google Drive sheet to go like, hey, use these champions against this, as I think that you'll need an immunity here, immunity there. I will get back to doing them. I will be looking to do that in October. But as I said, I did want to have a little bit of a break. You know, I've been at this for 10 years doing MCC content and uploading anything in the region of 2 to 4 videos in one day, and then kind of going to like a 2 video the next day. I will get back to that, but I just need a little bit of time just to kind of like, you know, just refresh, you know, and that's going to be something that I'm definitely going to do before kind of hitting harder with the content in October, November, and December, going into a very busy 2026. But yeah, like, anyway, I will be doing those things, but I'm in the same boat as many other people with their thoughts about this, and also the future of adaptive difficulty and what future needs to change about adaptive difficulty. I have the same thoughts around the AI. The AI still in game, or the defender's behavior, the coded defender's behavior is not good, right? It's not coded well enough. We're still awaiting AI 2.0. It is still something on a long list of things that Kabam have got to get done. Reduce down complexity of the game, ease up time, all the same things. And that is very much seen in this mode. The AI is still not good. The interaction with some of the champions and around their nodes that's been created for them is still not good, and still is a disappointment, really. There was one instance where Tiger was holding on to an SP2 Nelly and SP3 and just would not throw the special attack. And I've been trying to bait out up until like bar 2, then pushing into like bar 3. Trying to get her to do it by bar 1, but wasn't doing it into bar 2, and then it was like we're into bar 3 creation before we know it. Dropped input, or I was pinned against the wall, and it just was like I was just constantly just trying to evade out of it, just not throwing a special attack, and just ultimately just SP3 just to oblivion. And these are just things that Kabam need to deal with. They need to sort these out as much as possible. So that's where I'm going to end the video on. As much as the adaptive difficulty, it still needs to change. Like, I don't think you can be comfortable playing it in its current state. The classic side of things needs to go. I probably should have started off by leading with it in the video to go like, I think classic needs to go, or the kind of classic to then do the other stuff. But there we go. Like, what is everyone's thoughts about adaptive difficulty? I've shared my thoughts with Kabam. I've sent them like a message just outlining some of the stuff. There's been some great points from the community in general. I hope Kabam then read it and go, do you know what? It's time to change this, this, and this. I am finding that I'm burning through energy a bit too much with this as well, which is part of like other issues. But anyway, thoughts in the comments about that. How has your adaptive difficulty or elder difficulty experience been? Classic for me is not too bad, but it's different because the elder difficulty is to kind of ramp up, but still classic is another great example of kind of, it's not great, bruv. It's not great. Lots of changes and improvements need to be made. But your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you all soon. Have a lovely day and goodbye.